everybody's doing well. We're here to bring you hopefully another productive, thoughtful video. Where this video is going to be about the deck and doing the awning for the deck and where we are with the outside. As we noted, I spoke to in a video one or two past where we kind of hit the brakes on the inside of the house when we got the outside done a little bit. So we can come back and do the inside because it's about to start getting cold. So that's what this video is going to be about, and the lessons we had with that. Before I get to the lessons, I want to speak to something real quick. We've been kind of talking about some of these things since some of you who've been following us now for 5 years, right? You're hearing all this stuff about Mississippi and the Mississippi River drying up due to a drought. Okay. That's not a true statement. For those of you who are interested, look up something called the Madrid Fault. There's a fault line that runs right under Mississippi River. I'm under the thought process that the water is creeping out through that fault line. You're not going to have a whole Mississippi River disappear because of no rain. and the rain has been coming over there, has been mad crazy. So that's stupid. Also look up something, the United States Navy future map. Look up those two things if you're interested, and it'll give you a clue of what's going on with the Mississippi River, and it'll also give you some thought-provoking things of what you might want to do as it relates to you, and if you think there's anything you need to be knowledgeable of or prepared for. So again, we don't want to try to yell some alarm bell, and we're not trying to give you guys no scare tactic or fear tactic, but you do, and you should, let me say this, you should want to be abreast of what's going on in these days and times.
Exactly.
And I'll let my wife give her 2 cents on that.
I think you summed it up. I think awareness is key. Yeah. Again, we're not pushing fear or anything like that, but awareness is key.
Yeah. You need to be aware. Mm-hmm. Okay. So with that being said, we will now get into the lessons of this build. It wasn't too bad because it was something we've done already. Right? So it was almost just like doing the pergola. If you go back to our pergola video, it was pretty simple. The biggest thing we had to really work on was making sure the math was right to get the slope. So whenever you're doing any build, take into consideration all your material sizes, 2x8s, 2x10s. That goes into the math calculation of how it's going to play and how it's going to fall, how tall. Also, make sure you look up code concepts relevant to building things that carry weight. All right. We didn't want to post in the middle of our deck, and our deck is 20 feet wide. So I had to find what was the acceptable wood to use to span 20 feet without having to have a middle beam in the middle of our deck. I have a middle beam in the front, but I don't have one in the middle. So make sure when you are building, you take the time and energy. Don't oversimplify. We talked about that last video too again. Don't oversimplify. Make sure you take the time and energy to go look. Because if you got to take that shit apart after you don't put it together, you're going to be pissed. And God forbid something happens, collapses, or falls, and you or a family member or a loved one could be at risk of injury. So for any of you out there doing your own builds, take looking up code concepts seriously. Did we do it? Yeah, we did. I had to know some of these answers, right? So that and them damn clips.
The H clips.
Them H clips are a pain in the ass, So if anybody know how to put them on easy, leave a comment in there.
The H clips are these clips that hold together the plywood when you're putting it on a roofing surface or your wood to hold it together and prevent the edges from sinking in, if I'm communicating that right.
Keeps them parallel.
So it keeps them parallel and plumb. And when you're up on the high surface and you're trying to put them together evenly, they always fall off.
They're a pain. They're a pain. They're a pain. Y'all have to excuse Sugar. Sugar, this is my new baby. She wants all the attention all the time. So my apologies. So that's it. This is kind of a short video. We are going to come at you guys with another one. Oh, that's not it.
That's not it.
I'm sorry. That's it. I thought that was okay.
Don't sit on your wood.
Oh, don't sit on your wood. Oh, okay. Go ahead with the don't sit on your wood.
Yeah, because we bought material for this awning, I believe, 2 years ago? That's how long we've been? Yeah, we bought the 2x10s. We had 6x6 posts made for the awning, specially made, and all of that's been sitting outside for 2 years. And the 6x6 posts, we really had to spruce it up. We had to sand it because it got pretty messed up being outside, even being covered off and on.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so as you buy materials again, especially wood, it's something that you kind of want to buy and use immediately, not let it sit around. I'm glad we purchased it ahead of time, but we had it a little bit too ahead of time. So, that's one thing that you want to, because if you leave it out and it gets messed up, then you got to spend extra time trying to clean it up. So
that's what we had to do. We had to plane it.
Yeah,
and
sand it, burn it,
shellac it. Which we would have burnt and shellacked it anyway. But the sanding and the planing
that took up extra time.
Extra 2 days. So she's right. I forgot that.
Yeah. Also, another thing I want to say is, as you're doing your projects, again, it goes to not oversimplifying the process. Kind of look at the process and the steps it takes to complete the task, and really analyze it, because you can, look at something that's the obvious, what seems to be the obvious, but it may not be the smartest way to approach it. And that's a lesson that we learned in doing this awning, because we had to lift the two 2x9s, and they were very heavy. And how we did it was more problematic, and it was a simpler way to do it had we just taken the time to really analyze it. And of course, we realized it after the fact.
Oh yeah. So, all right. So let me give you a little more detail. So we had to put 20-foot 2x10s together. I don't know why she keep calling them 2x9s, but anyway, 2x10s together, and we had to make a beam. All right. And so when we made the beam, it was pretty much just me and her. And it was just me and her.
Yeah.
And we had to get the beam up on the posts that we set for the beam, for the rafters set on. So we struggled, we scared, I got my wife on the ladder, finally we got it up there.
I'm so happy.
And we made this little makeshift ladder by putting boards on the posts and lifting it on those and lifting it. When really, had we just put the damn ladder on the deck, we would only have to go up 5 feet.
Right, it would have been so much easier.
Vice being up in the air 20 feet. You know what I'm saying? And then when we put the second one on, we figured it out. It was like,
why didn't we see
why did we do this? So, anyway. So sometimes the first answer isn't the right answer.
Right.
Remember that in your building. Good point, baby. Good point. I forgot about that. Good point. All right, well, I think that's it for me.
All right, that's it for me.
All right. So we're going to be following this up with another video that's going to be off topic for any of you who might catch that one. Me and my wife just did a 3-day fasting, and we want to share that experience with you guys. It was something. It was something. And we really want to share that with you guys. So till next time,
be free.
Enjoy the video. Peace. Hey everybody, how you doing today? All right, new video. You should have already caught the front video where we did that. So now we're about to do the deck. Okay, so when I say deck, we're gonna put the awning on. Okay.
You're not gonna keep that blue thing?
No, the blue thing gotta go. You see the wind already giving it hell. That's our third one. So the blue thing gotta go. So we're gonna start putting these boards on. And hey, Pep. We're gonna start putting the boards on, and you're gonna see us today create a beam. Hey, guys, we're on camera. We're gonna create some beams for the cross section for the rafter to sit on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue them and start screwing them and making the beam. So that's what you'll see today. Then we'll get some stones laid. Then those over there are gonna be the posts. We'll get the posts put on, and you'll see this deck coming together. Peace. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we've glued these boards and screwed them to make our beams that are going to go across. So what we're about to do now is our ledger board. Alright, so me and my wife are going to mark this up, and we're going to put these on the ledger board before we hang up the board. Now, what I've decided is I'm not going to put them on the end measurement. I'm going to start with the next measurement. The end measurement, I want my board to be plumb with this edge coming off. So when I put the facing on, or the edging, trimming, whatever you want to call it, it'll lay plumb, because if I do it like this, it ain't going to be even, and it isn't going to lay plumb, right? Because then I'll have this sticking out, and I'll be trying to make it come together. So I'm going to leave them off on the ends. Alright, so go ahead, babe, put that on so we can bring the screws. So what I'm doing is I'm just marking it so we got a complete line. So on these, every mark we have here is where the center of the board should land. The center of the board for my rafter should land on these marks. Alright, so now I'll put these on here and center them, and then as I center these, then I'll line them up with these boards, and then I'll know where my rafter should land on these boards. Alright, so that's what we're doing. So we're just going to lock these all in. So once we put this board on the wall, boom, 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 tap, tap, tap. So what we're using is strong tie screws. So for anybody out there doing something, what I've learned is be careful with your screws in the construction. Understand the difference between construction screws and general purpose screws. They carry different weights, and as you're building, you know, I don't have a license to build, but what I'm learning is some of the code and understanding why they got the code. So a lot of times you know, kind of like we spoke in the last video, be careful taking shortcuts. Make sure you know these little things related to your specific build that you're doing, because if not, you know, fuck around and something fall in on your wife, fall in on one of your children, somebody fall through a floor because you didn't pay attention to a code because you're not a licensed person, but that don't mean you don't go look. So on your screws, well, not on this one, on the other one, it'll tell you the foot-pounds that these will carry. And you can look this up on the foot-pounds. So that's one thing I learned a little while back. So if anybody doing your construction, pay attention to some of your codes. Some of them.
Not all of them, just some.
Yeah, some of them. Because you got to remember that weight is on the screws. Now in our case, the way I'm going to build this, the weight's not going to be on the screws. But if it is, you need to be aware of it.
Yeah.
Going through pretty easy.
I see. Want to do real easy. Better than what I anticipated.
You see a bolt. Alright. So this is what we're using to anchor it to the container. So this are the container connectors. Putting 3 of these, then we're going to come back and put 5 more 5/16 smaller ones that'll still attach to the container. Start getting tighter under here.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Pull it.
Yep. Yep.
Tighter?
Yep. Yeah, it's all the way back here now. Took the bow out.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Cool.
All right, cool bean. What we did in trying to get this board up, we made a mid-shift little stilt. So my wife wouldn't have to be up here trying to hold it while I'm trying to drill it.
Hey,
so
sorry I didn't get a shot of us putting this up.
yeah, so that's what we did. Put a makeshift stilt on here.
Yeah.
That was able to hold the weight, so we could drill it. So we're gonna finish putting the main bolts in, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna put 5 more 5/16 6-inch screws to also tie it to the container. We're not going to have a lot of weight on this back end, but I just want to make sure it's definitely connected and can't come loose. All right.
Okay.
My hand.
I know, right? All that vibration. Take your time. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna move all these sharp tools out your way.
That's the hand. See, this way better take your ass back to the gym. You ain't gotta be all super buff, but you better have some strength to your ass.
Yeah, I know that's right.
100 pounds of stone.
All right, guys, so what we're doing is we're placing...
What we're doing is we have no freaking idea.
We got an idea. So we're trying to place this flagstone where we think we want each piece to go. And looking at what pieces that we need to cut to make them fit in place. So we're almost kind of putting a puzzle together here. So that's what we're doing. So we're carrying all these flagstone pieces, which are very heavy, and trying to figure out where we're going to place them.
All right, so Keisha, what I'm doing is
Okay, so these are the wood posts. They're 4x4s, I think, or 6x6, I forgot. But anyway, these are the wood posts for our deck, for the awning. And as you can see, they look pretty messed up because we had these sitting outside for over a year. Covered, half covered, not covered, and they got pretty damaged. So what we had to do was plane them, sand them, and clean them. So these two we cleaned, sand, plane, and you can see the difference. They look a lot better to how they looked originally when we purchased them.
I'm always curious.
Yeah, I know he's the carrier. So that's what we got to do to all of these, to clean them up. But because they don't look totally brand new like they did when we purchased them, what we're going to do is we're going to burn them and put some polyurethane on them to really make it look nice. So these are the posts that are going on the deck for the awning. And it's going to look real pretty.
It's keeping in theme with the rest of the wood in the house.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it'll just look pretty.
Yeah.
It will. Yep. So we got these made. This guy in Albuquerque that made these for us. Are these 6x6?
Yeah.
I thought so, 6x6.
Show in front of the house.
Of course.
All right, here we go. 2 down.
pieces afterwards. As you can see, they look a lot better. Put the polyurethane on it, and it looks beautiful.
All right, so what we're doing is we're getting our measurement with a pretend post for the moment, so we can get our measurements off there before we cut our real ones. And then we're figuring out our slope. We're only going to run an inch slope because we don't want it to be too low in here or look too low. So we think an inch, even though technically it should be almost 3 inches, but we're just going to do an inch. So we'll still get water runoff. We're not too worried about the weight difference between a 1-inch slope and a 3-inch slope. We kind of tossed that around, went back and forth with that. We don't think the snow is that material or that heavy where 2 inches is going to make that big of a difference of any melting in weight. So as long as we got runoff, that's what we're going to run with. So we'll be at 83 inches for the ceiling in here. That'll be the bottom. It'll be 83, which is still cool. You know, it's you know, almost 7 feet. You know, 84 would be 7. So you say 7 feet. So, but the back part will be higher, so it'll be a slope. So the very front will be 7. The back part will still be about almost 9. So it'll still feel good in here. But that's what we're doing. So let's see how this goes.
Alright guys, so this was our awning for our deck, and we went from this to this. So it came out pretty good. We have it just about finished. We still have some more little details to complete. We're going to put a metal roofing on the top that matches our roof on the house. So it'll be a gold metal roof, but we probably won't get to that till next year. So we have the 6x6 posts that we had carved. We burnt them, shellacked them. They're sitting on the post holders. We used 1x9, 2x10, excuse me, boards for the entire construction of the awning. And then for the front plate and the middle plate, we did 2x9s and we glued them and screwed them together.
2x10s,
I mean 2x10s. I don't know why I keep calling them 2x9s, because I guess they're actually 9 inches, right? But 2x10s.
We still got to put some braces in between them.
Yeah, we still got to finish putting up the braces.
Just between the boards.
Yeah, between the rafter boards. But we glued them and screwed them together. And then we have the 2x10 back plate that's connected to the house. So those are screws that are going to the metal of the shipping container. We did 7/16 plywood. Under here, we're going to finish this out and make this look nice with a nice ceiling. So we'll get to that probably next year.
Get to that when we get back.
Whatever. But
We'll have that down. Boom, 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 touch, touch.
this is... Can't move this. It's not going nowhere. It's real good. Very well constructed. So we still have to finish our flagstones. We did our corners to create our slope, and where we have our post. I didn't get you. I should get you because you're over there talking. So we have the flagstone. So we're going to finish the flagstone this year. So we'll come back and finish the flagstone on the deck.
So all the kitchen stuff. All the stuff for the kitchen is coming.
Oh, over there. Oh, yeah. So on this side, we're going to have our grill, and we'll have a little sink area here and a bar. And then that fireplace is going to go over here, and I'll have some nice furniture out here. So it's a nice big space. It's 24x16. And it came together real nice, guys. We've been working on this for about 2 weeks now. So I'm glad we got this front part together before the winter time. So that's where we are. Still more to come, y'all. We're grinding. Trying to get it done. Alright guys, till next time, be free.